Alright, good morning. It is, well, I guess it's good afternoon now. It is beyond a week here in Germany, or Europe rather, and we are back in Munich right now. We are currently at Oktoberfest, and it is quite cracking here. It's just a little bit beyond 1 o'clock right now, and this place is all about hustle and bustle, man. It's just everybody's moving around, so much good food everywhere. The beer halls are all packed. It's quite amazing. People are generally just having a good time. And so, yeah, I think everything is working out well. That jingle you probably hear in the background, they have a lot of horses here that are actually walking around with advertisements of and like beer barrels on them. But this place is pretty amazing so far. It reminds me of the county fair in our general area. It's good. There's just a ton of festivity in the air, and people are just having a good time, drinking a lot. It's free to get in, which is pretty awesome. Although parking cost us 20 euros, but that's for the day. I think we're only going to be here for about 3 hours, and we've been here for about a half an hour so far. We did try this like apple kind of like cake thing. It was like a pancake with apple filling in it. That was really good. And we've been kind of just generally walking around. This place is huge, and we're trying to get through it as quickly as possible. But yeah, I'll probably check back in here in a moment. So be right back. All right, and we are about to leave. Or not Munich, but Oktoberfest. We stopped at a place called Therme for lunch, I guess you could say. It was like a late lunch, maybe an early dinner. We got duck and chicken, sauerkraut, potato salad, potato dumplings, cheese, and a large beer. It was a liter of beer, and some special lemonade or limeade for the area. And I mean, we just walked around some more, looked at a few more of the tents. These places are ginormous. It's quite incredible, and the amount of drinking that everybody's doing, the festivities, all good. I mean, never thought in my life I'd come to Oktoberfest, so pretty awesome experience. We are now going to Nymphenburg Palace or something like that, so I guess we'll check back in once we're there. Alright, so we've made it to Schloss Nymphenburg Palace. It's ginormous, really large. It's gorgeous. It reminds me of French palaces, kind of like Versailles, and apparently it's one of Europe's largest palaces, which I totally believe. Like, looking at the land space that it contains, there's like a half an hour gondola ride that you could go on. And we just actually, since we bought the 14-day pass for museums and castles, we're actually able to get in this place. It's included in the pass, and you don't really need more than a half an hour unless they closed off parts that you weren't able to see, if you just walk through real quick, because we walked through in about 45 minutes and saw everything that was available, including like the beauty room, which that was pretty awesome. It was the King Ludwig at the time decided that he was going to paint portraits of all the beautiful women in the area, regardless of class. So it could be anyone from your basic like village girl to a princess. And then there was the Queen's bedroom, which had hints of like children that lived there with her. There was all sorts of different, like, it was just as any other palace would be, with the exception of everything seemed to be on the second floor that we saw, and the grand ballroom that you kind of enter, or whatever that room is, the greeting room, that was pretty amazing. Like, well painted with, I believe, 6 chandeliers. We're currently standing in part of the garden, which this garden is like gigantic. We're not even seeing an eighth of it really. There's kind of this forested part that goes off on both sides that we're not going to be able to get into because we're trying to go check into the hotel before 7 o'clock really. And I mean, this place is just pretty fantastic. Couldn't believe that we were just going to skip this one off, so I'm kind of glad that we left Oktoberfest for it. But two really awesome things in one day. I think we're pretty much set. Now it's off to the hotel and maybe dinner, so we'll check back in a moment.
So as you can see, we're back in America. We forgot to actually touch base onto what we did for dinner the night that we were in Erding. So after we drove past the BMW Museum over in Munich, we went to our hotel over in Erding and decided to get dinner. We were all kind of craving some Vietnamese food, so we found the closest Vietnamese place, which was called Van Do. It was alright. They served like sushi and all sorts of other things. But we basically got 3 bowls of pho. Mine was a little different. I don't know why. Like, I can't remember exactly what we had gotten. But Mom and Charlie got 2 the same, and then I got myself like a special one. I think it just had like beef balls in mine, and that's why I got that. I also got mango schloss, which was like a mango and sparkling water drink of some sort. It was a sweet sparkling water of some sort, which was pretty good. And then we also got egg rolls on the side. And the food was very meh. I feel like my soup was the better of the 2. I know Mom was not happy with any of them, but you know, for craving kind of noodle soup, it was alright. And the price point wasn't like terrible. We were definitely out in the middle of nowhere though, because I recall that the waiters and waitresses had a little hard time kind of like communicating with us, despite having like an English menu, and they had to like bust that out for us. At first, they tried to talk to us in like either Mandarin or Cantonese, which is fine. But Mom was able to communicate a little bit that way. That much I remember. But yeah, we had dinner pretty late. We grabbed well, they had fortune cookies in a large vase, so we just grabbed 1 or 2 of them, and then we headed on back to the hotel. I went geocaching over at the Therme, the water park that was right next to the hotel, later that night. And I was gonna try doing some geocaching at the cemetery that was right next to the hotel, but that was too freaky, so I didn't do that. But for the most part, the rest of the night was pretty quiet beyond that, so let's head back into Germany.
Alright, so we are now in a little town outside of Munich, and they're actually known for being the Europe's largest spa like resort, and they actually like were digging for oil and actually found a hot spring instead, and then they decided, hey, well, we found a hot spring, so might as well make a resort around it. And we are at the hostel or hotel, I guess I'm standing in right now, right across the street from it, so it's just right over there. But yeah, so we finished up at Oktoberfest and finished up at the Nymphenburg Castle, and then we have now arrived at our hotel and are just kind of chilling down for the night, packing everything up, getting ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is a travel day, so we have a flight in the morning and we're gonna have to be getting up super early. So I've just figured we'd finish it off here. But before that, I just cracked open this kind of weird coffee, caffeine, pure caffeine cola coffee. Sorry, this light is based on motion. And I figured I'd give it a taste so that we could see what it is. I've never seen anything like this before. It's kind of like an energy drink, so okay, or it's like coffee and Coke mixed together. Think like a Coke bottle that you've not finished all the Coke in, and it still has fizz, and then you pour coffee into that, like cold coffee. That's what that tastes like. Anyhow, good night, and we'll see you in the morning.